It's not just another day in your life. Things are changing for the better. At Comcast, we see those changes, and we're thinking about how we use technology today to live, work, learn, and play. And we're building for the future now, so we're better prepared for the wants and needs of tomorrow. That's why Comcast is rolling out multi-gig internet speeds to more than 50 million homes and businesses before the end of 2025, making our already industry-leading network even faster, smarter, greener, and more reliable. Over the decades, Comcast has been your partner, working hard to serve your community, and will continue to be your partner. We're expanding our gigabits so you can enjoy the tiny bits that matter most.
I'm Brandon Jones, host of the Teen Mental Health podcast, It Is Not Your Fault.
And I'm Lambert Fisher, family therapist and host of the Diversity Dude podcast.
We're not always going to be all right, and that's what makes us human. Often, when we're in pain or even thinking of suicide, we may not want others to know, but you'll feel better if you talk to someone, and you can do that safely and anonymously.
We can recognize when loved ones are not okay. They bottle up, they isolate, they're angry.
That's why we want you to know about 988, Minnesota Lifeline, for someone you're worried about or even yourself.
Anyone with an emotional or mental health related need can call, chat, or text 988 for free, confidential support. You can connect with 988 to discuss difficulty with money, relationships, anxiety, your job, concerns about drug or alcohol use, grief support, figuring out your identity, and more.
You don't even have to identify yourself or the person you're calling about, and no insurance is needed.
988 is available 24/7 year-round and can interpret in more than 200 languages.
So take a brave step. Call or text 988.
Or chat at 988lifeline.org. You don't have to do this alone.
Finally tired of doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results? Well, this show is going to help you change your life for the better. Strap on your seatbelt and navigate this roller coaster we call life with human potential expert and best-selling author Dr. Verna Price. Each week, Dr. Verna blesses you with her virtues to live your best life so you can be the best you that you can be.
Welcome back to Dr. Verna's Virtues. For those of you who are brand new, welcome. My name is Dr. Verna Cornelia Price, and it's great to see you. Great to have you. And for those of you who are returning, it's good to see you. Good to have you. Please listen in. Tell your friends. Tell your neighbors. And keep on just listening and learning and get what you need from this podcast every week, because I am very sure that every week that at least one of you will get something. So today we're talking about something that happens to all of us at any given moment in time, and we never know when it's going to happen. And just so you know, perfection is a myth. There is no perfect life. There's no perfect person. So this is going to happen, and when it happens, here's some tips in the other to kind of make it through when this happens. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with an affirmation. This is my life, and I get to change it when I want to, how I want to, if I want to, because it was given to me. And that makes me very valuable, very important, very lovable, and extremely powerful. You have enough power in you right now to change your life for the better and for good as well. All right. So many years ago, I wrote a book called Change Your Life in 30 Days. And Change Your Life in 30 Days, by the way, there is how when you have a contract, there's like the little really tiny print on the bottom, which says, by the way, it takes more than 30 days to change your life. The truth of the matter is that it only takes a second. It only takes a moment to change your life, because where the change starts, first of all, is in your mind. You have to make a decision that you want to change. You have to make a decision that enough is enough. You have to make a decision that you're going to get to your next level, whatever that is. And that happens in a split second. Now, for you to see that happen in your life, whatever that decision is, Now, mind you, if you're just continually wandering and pining and worrying, that's not a decision. That's worrying and pining and wondering. Okay. Or if you're continuously complaining about, that's not a decision. Complaining is not a decision. Worrying is not a decision. What they used to say, fretting over something. It's not a decision. Once you make a decision, boom, you can make a decision, and that decision is going to say something like, you know what? I'm going to be healed. You know what? I'm going to write that book. You know what? I'm going to start that business. You know what? I'm going to. And so you make that decision, and immediately in that split second, things begin to change. Now, as you go through the change process, that's going to take more than 30 days. Because there is a process to change, and we all have to go through it. No one skips this part of the change process, just so you know. Okay. So when you get to this place and you actually hit this spot in the change process, don't think that you're losing it. You're not losing it. You're not falling apart. Everything isn't, coming apart. No, it's not. It's just a part of the change process. So when you're going through change, and you want to see something different in your life, after you make that decision, now you have to begin to challenge the things in your life that don't work. And you also have to begin to what I would call cherish the things in your life that do work. Let me say it again. Challenge what are not, it's not working. Now, to challenge yourself, to challenge those things in your life, you have to get real and raw. You have to get realistic. You have to look at what is really going on in your life. And if what is really going on in your life is not working, you've got to make a decision, regardless of how painful it may be, to make that change. You only get one life. That's it. You just get one. You get one life on this side of life, right? This physical side. Of course, we all got an eternal life too. So you've got to figure that out as well. Right now, I'm talking about your physical life. You get one. So while you have your years, your 80 years, your 90 years, your 100 years, how many of your years you have on this earth, you make sure that your life is amazing. And to do that, you've got to look at the realities of your life. That means you have to challenge those things that are not working. If they're not working, why aren't they working? That becomes the question for you. And then you begin another part of this process. Now, before I go to that part, which is the main part of today's session, I also want you to also cherish the things that are working, right? Cherish what you've done. Cherish your successes. Often what happens is that we're busy looking at what doesn't work, but we forget to look at what's been working. It's been working for years. You are good at that thing. You have done that thing well. Do not allow yourself to only focus on the challenge. Make sure that you also cherish the things that you have done well. Now, you are going to get challenged. And when you get challenged, here's what's going to happen. You are going to get thrown into a place of chaos. Let me say it again, chaos. So this session is actually called When Chaos Hits. When chaos hits the change process, what are you going to do? Now, there's a couple of things to know. First of all, it's normal. Whenever you are going through change, whenever you are going to your next level, you're going to have to go through chaos. No one escapes it. No individual escapes it. No business escapes it. No corporation escapes it. Every entity, every person has to go through chaos. When you first start your business, you're really excited, then chaos hits. You got to make a payroll. Oh my goodness. When you start, thinking about that book, you great ideas, and then you sit down and nothing comes to you. Chaos is hitting. You start that relationship, and for the first 3 months, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, and then chaos hits. He does something, she does something that really ticks you off. And then what are you going to do? Chaos hits. Chaos is going to happen. When you first have your children, oh, they're so beautiful and they're so lovely and you just love them so very much. And then chaos hits. They disobey you. They do something. Something happens. They disappoint you. Chaos is going to hit. When you get thrown into chaos, and you will in the change process. Why? Because you're challenging yourself to change. And you are not going to change unless you challenge. You are not going to get to your next level unless you challenge yourself to get there. Now, when you get thrown into the chaos process, there's a couple of things you have to ask yourself so you do not stay in chaos for the rest of your life. Staying in chaos is not the point. Getting into chaos is a process of helping you get to the other side. Because in the chaos, you're going to answer the hard questions, first of all. Secondly, you are going to do what I would call get clarity on your relationships, right? Third, you are going to get focused on what you really want and where you really want to go. And fourth, you are going to work really hard to get out of it. So, first place is you're going to answer the hard questions and be totally honest and realistic about it. Hard questions. What do you do? How do you do it? What are you really good at? What do you need? What don't you need? Hard questions, right? Why is this working? Why isn't this working? What do you need to change about yourself? Sometimes we have what's called a perception of ourselves to ourselves, but then the truth is that we're coming across a whole other way to someone else. So we have got to get clear about who we are, why we are the way we are, cherishing who we are, and beginning to challenge those things about ourselves that we want to improve. And everyone, just so you know, gets to improve. There's no perfect person, none whatsoever. So if you're sitting out there thinking, well, Dr. Verna, you know what, I already got it all together, it's not true. So there are some things that you need to work on, and we all need to work on. So first of all, challenging yourself. Secondly, making sure that you're clear about your relationships. And all of you know that my first book is The Power of People, 4 kinds of people who can change your life. These 4 types of people are adders, subtractors, multipliers, and dividers. Let me slow down. They are adders, subtractors, multipliers, and dividers. Know who you are, know who you're working with. So you're going to have to lean out those relationships. If your life is loaded with adders, you are going to get out of the chaos process faster. If your life is loaded with subtractors, you're going to stay in the chaos process a much longer time. Next, you got to get focused. Get focused. Know what you want. Know where you want to go. Refuse to move to the left or right. You know what? I thoroughly enjoy the Olympics, and I look forward to the Olympics whenever they come up. I think it's every 4 years or however they do it. I sit there and I watch the Olympics, and I watch it all. I watch swimming, I watch skateboarding, I watch track, I watch tennis, I watch golf, I watch it all. Why? Because in the Olympics is one of the places where people get the most focused. They have worked for 4 years to get there, and they're going to make sure that they do their best while they're there, and they are laser focused. What if every day we lived our life like we were about to perform in the Olympics? What if? Boy, we would be excellent, wouldn't we? We would be excellent. Get focused. Get focused on what you want. Get clear on what you want. And then the fourth piece, get ready to work hard. To get out of chaos, you've got to work hard. And not just working hard, you have to work hard and leverage what's already in you. And I can tell you what's already in you. What's already in you is your personal power. You have enough power in you right now to change your life. You can make a decision. You can take an action step. You can make that phone call. You can write that book. You can. You have to know that you can. Once again, the Olympics, when the young woman from St. Lucia, I believe, won the 100 or maybe it was a 200. I don't know. She won one of those, and it was amazing. And she, that morning she wrote down, I am an Olympian. I am a gold medalist. She had to know what she wanted because she had worked hard for 4 years to get there. What are you working hard on? Are you working hard at all? Or are you coasting? You just kind of like here and there. Okay. If you want to get out of chaos, to move to the change you want to see, you're going to have to do those things, right? You're going to have to deal with the hard questions, right? You're going to have to do that. You're going to have to figure out your folk. You're going to have to make some decisions on your people. You're going to have to get focused, laser focused, and you're going to have to work really hard. I hope that this has been helpful to you. It's certainly been helpful to me. Let me tell you, when I do these workshops and when I do these mini talks that I'm doing with you with a podcast, I'm talking to you as much as I'm talking, as much as I'm talking to you, as much as I'm talking to you, I'm also talking to myself. So hopefully this was helpful to you, and we will see you soon. Let's go ahead and finish up with our affirmation. This is my life, and I get to change it when I want to, how I want to, if I want to, because it was given to me. And that makes me very valuable, very important, very lovable, and extremely powerful. All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Get caught up on previous episodes of Dr. Verna's Virtues at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
If you live in an older home, it may contain lead-based paint on walls, woodwork, and windows. Even more bad news, lead exposure can be dangerous to young children and impact their brain development. And now, the good news. Hennepin County will fix lead hazards in your home at no cost to you.
We were worried because of the paint in the windows in the bedroom. They were peeling and chipping, and we know that when paint peels and chips and it looks a certain way, that's possibly lead. We were worried for our children more so than anything.
Eligible homes can qualify for up to $15,000 in upgrades. You may even qualify for new energy-efficient windows. Don't worry, Hennepin County has a trusted list of pre-approved contractors. You won't even have to find companies with correct licenses or certifications.
I've just done a test and it's positive. So we know that this is lead-based paint, and then we know it's a hazard because it's creating dust every time this window moves and opens. And if you look in here, that's just full of lead paint chips.
You won't have to stay with your cousin while you're getting the lead out. Hennepin County even pays for you and your family to stay in a hotel while the work is underway. The last good news is how easy it is to apply. Just go to hennepin.us/lead control to get started.
I'm really happy with the program. We can go to bed knowing that our children are safe.
That's hennepin.us/lead control. Tell your friends about it.
I'm Brandon Jones, host of the Teen Mental Health podcast, It Is Not Your Fault.
And I'm Lambert Fisher, family therapist and host of the Diversity Dude podcast.
We're not always going to be all right, and that's what makes us human. Often, when we're in pain or even thinking of suicide, we may not want others to know, but you'll feel better if you talk to someone, and you can do that safely and anonymously.
We can recognize when loved ones are not okay. They bottle up, they isolate, they're angry.
That's why we want you to know about 988 Minnesota Lifeline for someone you're worried about or even yourself.
Anyone with an emotional or mental health related need can call, chat, or text 988 for free, confidential support. You can connect with 988 to discuss difficulty with money, relationships, anxiety, your job, concerns about drug or alcohol use, grief support, figuring out your identity, and more.
You don't even have to identify yourself or the person you're calling about, and no insurance is needed.
988 is available 24/7 year-round and can interpret in more than 200 languages.
So take a brave step. Call or text 988.
Or chat at 988lifeline.org. You don't have to do this alone.